Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Warp Off with Kevin. If you don't like it, well, you can go warp yourself. My name is Kevin. Today, we're talking about Star Trek Discovery, Season 2, Episode 13, the penultimate episode, Such Sweet Sorrow. We get a great new look at the Enterprise bridge, lots of goodbyes, going into the future, even some time crystal future shenanigans a little bit, seeing the visions. What is going on with that? And surrounded by the Section 31 ships. Is everyone going to die? Probably not, but, you know, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So stick around and find out. So I really love the aesthetics of the Enterprise in this episode, from just the actual model of it itself to when we see it with all the docking procedures where it all extends outwards and is connecting to it. I was kind of wondering why they did that, because why couldn't they use the transporters? But again, maybe they had to get so many people off as a short period of time, they had to do the docking procedures, which again, I thought was cool, but that did sort of cross my mind. And the actual bridge itself, I think, looks really glorious. I really love the glossy look to it. It's kind of retro but new at the same time. So I think they really pulled that off really rather well. So again, I love the aesthetics of the Enterprise itself. I thought that was a really cool, great high point of the episode. So we have also the next part where we're trying to figure out, how do we get this data? Because again, storage is still a problem in the future. We don't know how to move data from the next thing, or too much data. It's always like, how do we get rid of this data? And so apparently we can't destroy it either. We can't destroy the data because the ship is like, oh, let's try to blow up the Discovery. Like, oh, we can't blow it up. And it's like, what do we do? And then so Michael basically concludes there's really only one answer. It might be a bit extreme, but there's really only one answer. We have to take the ship to the future. And that is sort of the main crux of this episode, is figuring out how do we get everyone, how do we get all this stuff to the future, and sort of figure a process of figuring it out. So again, lots of good techno-babble, going on, and figure out with the time crystal, we have to power the time crystal and make sure it's there. And also when Michael touches the crystal too, she has this vision of post-apocalyptic vision of the future where Terminator Leland is coming on board and sort of shooting them all. And so again, trying to figure out how to prevent that if possible. And again, lots of shots of our torpedo being stuck in the Enterprise. So again, averting this natural upcoming threat that's about to come. So yeah, that was pretty interesting, seeing that. Lots of stuff with the interesting, cool prophetic apocalyptic vision stuff. And so another Star Trek style fashion where they have a staff meeting, where it's like, what's a Star Trek show without a great staff meeting? And so in the staff meeting, they conclude that Spock comes to the conclusion that, well, Michael must be responsible for the remaining signals, and maybe is the second Red Angel. So maybe I was entirely wrong in my prediction way back when after all. So it seems like Michael is at least half of the Red Angel duo, at the very least, the Red Angel duo. So that was kind of interesting. So we'll see how the signals pull off. Because again, we still haven't really seen, even this episode, we didn't really see too much of the signals. But they do get a trace of a signal, and that's to the planet Zahea, where we do get to see Poe from the Star Trek short trek episode Runaways, which that was actually very surprising to me, because actually of the original short trek episodes, the 4, I actually thought that one was my least favorite, so I didn't think they would connect to it at all. I didn't think they'd reference that one at all. I thought there'd be more direct reference to maybe some other ones, but no, they referenced that one, so I was really surprised. But again, I really did enjoy Poe's direction, Tilly. They're both very super excited and super happy, so I really liked seeing Tilly kind of bond and connect with her. And it's someone that we did technically see from a previous episode or short, so that was a nice bit of continuity there as well. And I do like how when Georgiou comes on the bridge, and Georgiou has her kind of funny, snarky remarks throughout the episode, and she was great too. And I like how Poe sort of retorts with, on my planet, I'm the my planet, I don't have to deal with snark, I made it a law, essentially. So I thought that was a really funny interaction between the two. And so we figure out that essentially that in order to take Discovery to the future, that is going to be essentially a one-way trip, and so there will be apparently no coming back from it. So this is the moment where we get a lot of tearful, sort of emotional goodbyes. We see a very tearful, emotional goodbye with Michael and her parents as well, Amanda and Sarek, who basically, Sarek just sensed basically something was going on, because there's the opening scene where he's there sitting on the beach, and Amanda's gonna bring him some bland plumbing soup or something, and basically he just sort of senses and says, Michael, like this, and then suddenly, with no explanation, he's just there. I don't know how that happened, but it's very hand-wavy of Discovery to do that, but okay. It's not a big deal, but I just thought that was kind of funny, like, okay, he's just sort of there, but okay, fine. But again, those are really nice emotional scenes from between the two. We get to see a scene, I think, earlier with Hugh and Stamets saying goodbye to one another and what they're going to do. And also, we have also a scene with Ash Tyler and Michael, because Ash Tyler is pretty much saying that he is going to stay in the present. He is going to stick with Section 31 to make sure that nothing like this ever happens again. And so that sort of leads me to believe, too, that I think he's pretty much going to die. Like, I think if they're going to kill somebody off in the penultimate episode, if they do, I think Ash Tyler has a big target on his head, and I think he's probably going to die. And there have been so many Trek series where a main character of a Trek show has had numerous love interests. See Captain Kirk, we see Captain Picard, other characters. It kind of goes 50-50 whether or not they have a consistent love interest throughout the show. Some do, I think some don't. But I could definitely see Michael Burnham getting another love interest next season as well. So we'll see. I could be wrong, but yeah, I don't know how long he is for the show. And so then we get another little montage of really well edited with the crew saying goodbye to their families, whether they're kind of talking in the recorders or writing on their pads, how they're all going to miss them, which I thought, again, was very good. That's really, again, this episode was really more of an emotional build-up sort of thing, as opposed to maybe the plot, because, again, this is a lot of good setting up for what's about to happen. So, again, a lot of emotional goodbyes to their families and things, which I thought was really good. And then, of course, we get a great farewell speech from Captain Pike, saying how an honor it is sort of to be your captain, and how he's naming sort of all them off and all the duties and what they've done. And I thought that was very effective, very, really got to me. And I'll miss Captain Pike too next season, because I think as well as a lot of fans of Discovery this season, we've really grown attached to him and think he's great. And we know that he's not going to be back next season. We know that he's not going to be there. So, yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see him maybe another season in the future. I don't know. But, yeah, we're not going to see Pike for a while. So that's a really nice, emotional scene saying goodbye. And he's about to name a captain, but then, even then, Saru sort of interrupts him and is like, well, maybe we should take care of that later. We'll deal with that later and everything. Which also, again, makes me go back to the end of season 1, where they were about to get a new captain. They were supposed to go to Vulcan to be a new captain, then Pike sort of came in and sort of became the captain. So, wait a minute, is their old captain back on Vulcan, or are they going to have, I don't know. So that's interesting with the captain situation. We'll see if that gets resolved in the next season or not. And then, as Pike is about to transport off to the Enterprise, he has a great little exchange with Georgiou, where Georgiou actually fully admits to him that she is indeed from the Mirror Universe and is a Terran, and then Pike sort of winks and goes, what Mirror Universe? And kind of showing that he kind of knew all the law, he knew it the whole time, and he was very insightful and kind of intuitive. So I liked that, because that was something that people were speculating way back early this season. How many people really know that Georgiou is from the Mirror Universe? So I thought that was a nice little, cool little thing. And then we have another scene where, again, with a time crystal, where, as Michael touched earlier, she's been seeing prophetic horrible visions, but Jet Reno also touches it briefly, and also she's the same vision that Michael saw too, of this torpedo being launched in the Enterprise and about being destroyed, perhaps. So I think that's interesting that Jet Reno knows. So I think maybe that Jet Reno will do something very important in the finale, because now she has this information. I think she's really going to go out of her way and do some great engineering work and maybe save the crew now that she has this prophetic information available. And of course, the episode just about to end right as the timer's been going off. There's been so much, 3 seconds, 5 more seconds, 10 more seconds, all throughout the whole. It's a great way to start tension, is that you have basically a clock going down throughout the rest of your episode. And just the battle's right about to start, the episode ends, it's all over. So it's we didn't really get the battle on this episode. I guess they're really saving that all for the last episode. So again, I think this episode was good. I think it was solid. I think it was a good first half of the finale. It could have been condensed maybe a little bit, I think. But again, it was a lot of emotional, I think, sort of send-offs to people and getting ready for what's about to happen and setting up, what's ultimately going to happen to the next episode. So again, I thought it was good. I thought it was solid, but maybe didn't, blow me away. But I thought, it was good. Again, it's an odd episode. It's 13. So I have a feeling that 14, since it's going to be an even episode, I think that one's going to really blow me away. And we're going to see all the stuff happen. We're going to see all the future time travel shenanigans. If they're going to stay in the future, are they gonna really come back? They say they can't, but maybe they really can. I don't know. Maybe next season, for season 3, they'll just be stuck in the future the whole season. I don't know. That would be really interesting to see and find out. So again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe with all your fellow Trekkie friends. And as far as the question of the day is concerned, what do you think is going to happen in regards to this time travel situation? Are they really going to be stuck in the future? Like, is that really going to happen, or are they going to be able to come back? Please comment below and let me know your thoughts about that. Because again, I think that'd be really interesting if they did maybe perhaps stay in the future for a whole season maybe, or it could be the rest of the show. I don't know. That's a really interesting story possibility that can do a lot of really cool, fun things. So again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all again next time. All right, take care. Bye-bye.